Welcome to our reflection on Palm Sunday and Holy Week. We won't have any idea of what this week is about without some concept of the nature of sin. And at this time, with the coronavirus, it's a good example of the nature of sin. The coronavirus destroys the individual. It's contagious and deadly. It destroys families and communities. That's what sin is about. Sin destroys individuals, it destroys families, it destroys communities. How often when you were young did your mother tell you, don't go near that person, they're trouble? The problem with sin is that you need to isolate yourself from the sources of the problem. Today we look at Jesus entering into Jerusalem triumphantly. So what's happening? Well, between the divine and the human, there is a great chasm. Jesus came that we may be one. He came that we may be one with the Father, that we may have life to the full. But we cannot, as human beings, achieve that. So God sent His Son, divine and human, to bridge that chasm. And today we see Him riding on an ass, being hailed by the people into Jerusalem. So what's happening? We have three elements to this. You have the people, and they are most anxious that Jesus should be empowered. They put branches and their clothes before Him, and they sing Hosanna, which is a form of affirmation that is due to royalty. We have a donkey. An animal with a head that seems to be too big for its body, and legs that hardly able, you would think, to carry the loads that are laid on its back. The donkey, the animal, a burden, not compared with the horses of the Roman cavalry. A humble animal that is used to build cities and to build communities. When was the last time Jesus was on a donkey, can you remember? I suggest it was when Mary was heading for Bethlehem, and He was born when He arrived in Bethlehem. So the donkey plays a role at the beginning of Jesus' life and at the end. So Jesus enters into Jerusalem. The people acclaim His greatness and what's going to happen. The Jewish leadership are alarmed. This is not what they wanted to happen. It was a very powerful period in the whole of the Jerusalem calendar. People were coming from all over. The possibilities of a riot. And as Jesus absorbed, if you like, the adulation, as He went into the temple, He drove out those who were making money out of this big occasion. And He said to them, "You have turned my Father's house into a den of iniquity." It is a place of prayer. And so as we begin this Palm Sunday celebration and Holy Week, we thank God for His intervention in bridging that chasm. And I hope we will be able to reflect on the significance of today. Thank you for being with us today.